savings and why the millennial generation is starting to give up because they can't afford to get a good job or own a house.
8 million Venezuelans voting for this assembly, saying it's actually less than 3.
It is. And people are going to start rioting in the streets.
Was reported to have asked Putin for military support that would help him stay in power.
We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And they ignore him, and 8 more years goes by till Bernie himself finally admits to his sons, hey, I've been running a Ponzi scheme.
Does its dominance mean it can use the alliance for its own ends?
Since 1981, bond yields, also known as coupon rates, have just gone down and down and down.
The Federal Reserve note will be your biggest financial liability. RTD Live Talk, Wednesday night, the 3rd day of the month of October. Back at it again for another live stream. And I'm happy to make it, even though I'm running a couple minutes late. But we're here. You're on with Detroit's #1 late night YouTube talk show. And tonight, as you can tell from the title, I want to share with you an infographic I put together. So if you're a viewer of RTD, Rethinking the Dollar, you know that when it comes to coming up with crafty ways to try to get my point across, I love coming up with infographics to really shine light on a subject matter. And so today, I'm going to share with you something on Venezuela that I put together that I think will be a little bit very informative as to some of the options and the properties of money, aka currency, for Venezuela, especially everything they're going through down there. And so I've been following Venezuela for a few years now, and a couple weeks ago I had a chance to have a gentleman, Eduardo, who's actually in Venezuela, join us to share his thoughts. So tonight I wanted to put together a visual aid to share with you guys, give you an idea of what the options are and where they stand, in my opinion. And then also get your thoughts on some of those same items as well, because as of now, on the surface, it looks good. It looks like the president there, as well as all his cabinet, whatnot, is trying to, give the people some options. But unfortunately, as I want to share with you my opinions about this matter, is that it's kind of too late to try to revitalize faith and confidence in the people when they've been done wrong time and time again. And the best way to give you an idea as to how they've been done wrong is the idea that over the last 2 years, 2.5 years, the Venezuelan people have received from their government, from their central bank there, they're now working on their 3rd currency. And so I posted something earlier to my Twitter, giving a little history in regards to the last time there was a reconversion. And so it's only been 12 months, give or take, since the issuing of the Bolivar Forte, which was done in January of last year to add some zeros to the currency. And then as of this past month, the new currency, the sovereign Bolivar, was issued to remove those same zeros, while in the midst of inflation still running rampant there. And then to make it even worse, the government decided to get into the crypto business. So now they're issuing, as of this past Monday, it's been official, because Venezuelan President Maduro signed the white paper stating that it is a government decree that the Petro coin is now a digital currency. So not only do they have paper, now they got cryptos, and then they got some other options I'm going to share with you guys. So as always, before I get any further, want to just check in, see who's tuning in. Any new viewers, feel free to let me know where you're watching us from. And also want to get your thoughts on the interview I did earlier with Leo Gantz from Wealth Research Group. Want to get your thoughts on that conversation there. I had a lot of group participation, so if you have not had a chance to go back and watch that, I encourage that you do, because it's titled "The 6 Chaos Hedges to Prepare for the Next Recession." And so he listed 6 things that are definitely some things worthy of thinking about, of which at this point, given the time factor, it could be next year, next month, we never know before there's a major market correction or downturn. And so a lot of the options might be far-fetched for those that to get started in the last minute, but definitely something worth considering. So, as always, who we got here? We got Angel, we got Philman, we got Samuel, we got Kenneth. How you guys doing? Philman. We got Chika Keisha Rising. New viewer, new sub. Appreciate you for subbing and subscribing. Where are you from? From Minneapolis. That's cool. Thanks for tuning in. How's everything out in Minneapolis? What else we got? Jeff. Welcome, people. So I want to share with you a visual aid and then get your thoughts on the visual aid. And more importantly, if you scroll down the description of this video right now, I put a link there for you to get access to it right now if you're curious. And so I'll give you permission to click it and, be led away, or it'll download directly to you. You can open it up for a quick second, but, make sure you get back here and then go from there. But more important, I made that an option for you guys so you can share it and hashtag RTD, hashtag Rethinking the Dollar, or link it to your social media just to get the word out so people can see what's going on in Venezuela. And so I love the opportunity to provide little visual aids for you guys. So got a question off bat. Philman, that says, question, have you heard of Chris Hedges? Have you heard of his new book, America Farewell Tour? Let me see here. I don't, offhand, it doesn't, America Farewell Tour. Let me look it up. Farewell Tour, and see what's going on. It's from Simon & Schuster. So I'll pull it up on the screen. And so I love good book recommendations, even though it's hard to sit down and get through a full book. But at least if I can skim through it, it's better than nothing. Let me see what's going on here. It says, Chris Hedges' profound and provocative examination of America in crisis is an exceedingly provocative book, certain to arouse controversy, but offering a point of view that needs to be heard. America is so farewell tour. So without going any further, just the title alone lets me know that he's basically depicting how, as it says here, a face global upheaval caused by catastrophic climate change. Okay, so he's looks like he's using a climate change angle. And it says pornification of culture, the rise of magical thinking. Yeah, so that sounds like something that might be worth looking into a little further. So as always, Philman, appreciate you throwing that book out there for a recommendation. Of course, there's not a paid advertisement for it, but other than that, if people want to check it out, got some time on your hands, feel free to do so. What else? What up, Doe? Some foodhome.com. What's up, buddy? You streaming from Belmont Shopping Center? I figure I'd throw that at you. We got Samuel from Brooklyn. What's up, baby? How you doing, man? So, with that being the case, anybody want to share their thoughts real quick before we dive into tonight's conversation in regards to Venezuela? Got a couple articles I want to share with you. More importantly, the visual aid. The link's below if you want to download it, and more importantly, share it for yourself. And other than that, I'm interested and curious to hear your thoughts on Leor Gantz. As always, whenever I'm able to link up with Leor, it's always a lot of nuggets that's being dropped, and so I consider it valuable information. Of course, some of the angles and some of the ways he gets to his points, don't necessarily I agree with directly, but we're all in the same game here as far as trying to educate people, and we all have a unique skill set and ability to decode what's happening around us. So I appreciate and learn from other people when they share their expertise and opinions. So, but curious to hear your thoughts on that. So feel me say YouTube them. I will. Tony, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Jeff, thanks for the interview today. I watched it 2 times. Man, that's love, Doris. Jeff, appreciate you, man. And make sure, if you enjoyed it, man, it's important to share it with your family and friends. Just put it out there and let people do what they do with it. If they click on it and watch it, that's fine. If they don't, oh well, you played your part. It says homefood.com says, I'm a single white male loser. I was hoping a bunch of Venezuelan ladies would make themselves available for a mail order. Okay. foodforhome.com. If you're interested, it's a little side note to that same subject matter. If you Google, well, not Google, but YouTube, there's a couple news documentaries, like undercover documentaries on life in Venezuela, and because of the crisis, how people are up on hard times, and a lot of people are choosing to turn to the street life to feed their families. And so there's some people who actually across the border in Colombia, they're streetwalkers or whatever, and so they're telling their story, and it's sad. They show their side of their face, whatever. But some of the ladies aren't really, yeah. But anyway, it might be of interest to you to find out how life is, and how if you were to go down there, then that type of stuff is there that floats your boat. It says any of the increase. It says, anyone hear of any increase in mail order brides? Oh no, okay, wrong one. Says delete. Huh. Says, Mike, you need to hand out wrenches for your live stream. Hand out wrenches? What do you mean, Tony? As far as that that overly excited caller we had last night or 2 nights ago, the pranksters. So yeah, I definitely block those numbers, but you can't help it sometimes, man. People just need something to do with their lives. They don't have nothing constructive or positive to do, so they'll just try to break up a good conversation. But it won't work here, man. We too good for that. We too good for that. So with that being the case, man, I want to waste no time, and I want to get right into it. It says, Angel Olivia says, buy any Petro coins. The question is, and that's another thing, because I got a video I want to share with you, give an idea where we're heading. So before I move any further, let me give you this video real quick, and then we'll begin from there. So check this out.
Venezuela's cryptocurrency, the Petro, is now an official commercial currency. President Nicolas Maduro stated on Monday that despite cyber attacks perpetrated by the United States, France, and Colombia against the digital platform, the Petro has become a reality.
Ha nacido con tecnología propia, con esfuerzo propio. En un país libre e independiente ha nacido la moneda digital petrolera, el Petro. Bienvenido, Petro.
Maduro unveiled the new white paper that will govern the cryptocurrency and stated that it is backed by other natural resources in addition to oil.
Por ley y por decreto he incorporado en el white paper del Petro para la fórmula del establecimiento de su valor, el respaldo en oro, diamante, hierro y aluminio. Así que nuestro Petro nace blindado de riqueza petrolera y de riqueza minera.
The Petro is now available on several major cryptocurrency exchanges. The currency will be ready for public sale starting November 5th, and Venezuelan citizens will be able to purchase it in bolivars.
So that's what it is, and we're going to get into that in a second. But while in the midst of playing that, we got our first caller tonight, so I want to get to the phone lines and get your thoughts on what's happening. So, very first caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Craig out of Beaumont.
Craig out of Beaumont in Texas, correct?
Yeah.
All right. So what's on your mind tonight, my friend? Thanks for calling in.
Okay, I just wanted to I wanted to get you to do a little new topic that's kind of obscure and weird.
Okay.
But one of the things I've ran across in my journeys in my career, working, because I work with various different guys, and I've been an air conditioner. At one time, I worked as a service tech in an air conditioning company.
Okay.
And one of the things that was brought to my attention is that I went to several clients who had dual citizenships, whether it be the wife or the husband. But the long story short, the one thing stayed the same. They were about to retire or approaching retirement, and their plans of retirements was with their dual citizenship was to go to another country and still draw their Social Security or disability.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I just kind of want to mingle over is versus like with our current climate that we have now. And then, you have people that were ex-veterans, they do that.
Expats.
And you have people that were merchant marines.
Yeah.
And then you also have people that were immigrants from one country that came here and became citizenship, and then they go back home, and because they contribute to Social Security, and then they go back home to their home countries and they're allowed to draw Social Security. And I figured this would be an interesting topic to talk about on another show.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, it'd be something that we like to look at and discuss, because how does that affect our economy and our government in this climate that we're in right now?
Yeah.
Because that's actually money leaving the States.
Yeah, and it will be like, because the whole that's basically expats, people who choose to up and retire for more affordable living outside, and a lot of that is done from what I've followed around the South American, Central American area, because it's cheaper, it's not too far away from family, friends. So that is something worthy of talking about. So definitely do me a favor, before this video is over, leave a comment, that same thought in the bottom, so I'll make note of it, and then we can definitely dive into that further, because that is something that, of course, I'm assuming you saw what Leor mentioned about having dual citizenship or whatnot, and being able to do that, of which, getting dual citizenship is not easy unless you have a lot of resources or able to spend 3, 4, 5 years in a certain country to get that. So, but definitely worth talking about. So I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah,
because I wouldn't brought it up, but I've seen it on a medium frequency and it's starting to incline.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you've noticed, or it's not been mainstream, but there's been more citizens year by year, basically denouncing their citizenship and moving abroad. Those are the people who probably have better, more financial means. But there's been more citizenship. I forgot what the word offhand, but more people have been giving up their citizenship, leaving because of overtaxation and all the things that's coming here that they may know already, and so. For those that have options, I've already opted out of their citizenship. So, yeah, but not too many people have that choice or option. So, but no, I'll definitely make note of that, and we can get on that another night. So, appreciate you for sharing that thought, though.
Okay, thanks.
All right, my friend. Appreciate you. Bye. Very good thought there. That's definitely something worth talking about because the idea of people upping and leaving, more people who can afford it will do it, or have a residence here, residence there, if that's something that you can do. But anyway, so I want to get back to the main topic there. The video I played momentarily is about a minute ago, but it was basically the official signing of the Petro. And so with that being the case, I want to now get right into the visual aid that I prepared and get your thoughts on it. So,
Venezuela.
Oops, wrong one. So here we have the next visual aid, and so if you guys were, been watching for a while, I did the properties of money with just $1, gold, and cryptocurrency. And the reason it's important to put cryptocurrency on there is because in situations like in Venezuela where hyperinflation has destroyed confidence in currency or paper for the most part, the next best thing has been to have digital currency because a lot of people, unlike here, don't have access to get precious metals as a hedge against their own government and the monetary tyranny that they're facing. So here's a layout of what I thought were viable options, and what the first three are options that are provided by the government as of like right now. So throughout this summer, all three of these instruments have been put in play to somewhat, I guess, attempt to gain the confidence back of the Venezuelan people along the way with these cryptocurrencies here, from what I'm hearing, as well as Bitcoin, being the dominant cryptocurrencies that people are turning to. And I'm assuming, whatever crumbs they got left over, they're looking to purchase a little bit of these type of digits here. But here's my thoughts on where all these different assets stands as of today. And so look it over. Let me know what looks like it may not belong. Let's talk about it. But to just thumb through it briefly for those that do not know, as of August, September, right now, give or take this time frame here, there's a Aurora, es oro, savings in gold, Aurora es oro, savings and gold savings plan, basically. So here you have just a 1 gram, as they say, a 1 gram ingot of gold that the government is positioning for people to save, and it is more so geared towards pensioners. And so what's interesting is it's not until stuff hits the fan that governments will come out and say the best way to protect your pensions and to protect your wealth is with gold. And so if you think I'm lying, give me 1 second. I'm gonna prove it to you. I'm gonna prove it to you straight from the horse's mouth. And so here is a Instagram. Here's the central bank's Twitter page. And just to show you exactly what I mean, as you scroll down, here's a little press conference of the video you heard earlier. And give you an idea. Let me see. If you click on one of these, it says, quote, translation in English, this is from the Central Bank of Venezuela. It says, sovereign gold saving plans arrive to safeguard Venezuelan revenue. Okay, and so it arrives after everything hits the fan and confidence is lost. So now they're positioning a viable option for their citizens, but there's a catch. So stay tuned for the catch. Here's another translation here, and it says, do you find yourself visiting the monument to the Virgin of Peace in Trujillo State? From there, you can also be part of the sovereign gold savings plan. So these are all of the places throughout the country where you can sign up for this gold savings plan. And then there's another one here that I thought was really interesting that I want to highlight because it says protect your pensions. Let me go here. It says the schedule to apply for your sovereign gold savings is from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. protect your income, save in gold. So here we have the Central Bank of Venezuela telling our people to sign up for this program to do what? To protect your income, save gold is worth something. So imagine if the Federal Reserve came out and said the same thing. Protect your income from us, save in gold. That'd be something that'd be quite shocking. But so there's a gold savings plan just underway. And to give you an idea, I got some here. Another article right here. It says Venezuela to sell gold ingots to pensioners as inflation soars. So this is as of late August. And there's a little video here. But to give you an idea of what's going on, they actually, here's a catch. And this is where I said hang on there for a second. The caveat to all this is the citizens aren't really getting their hands on physical gold. And it says here they're getting certificates. So imagine getting a piece of paper, a claim. So just any piece of paper. So if I gave you a piece of paper, sign your name, 1.5, 2.5 ingots or whatever, and this is your certificate. It's a claim. Once again, it's a claim to a piece of gold that people hold on to with the idea that there's gold in the vault. So if they really cared about making sure that people were safe, protecting their income, why wouldn't you just give them the gold right now and get it out the way? Get it out of your hands and get into the people's hands, unless there's something else behind that. So it says the certificates are backed by 1.5 grams, 2.5 grams of gold, and are meant as tools for pensioners and others to save money and use as credit lines to acquire cars and other items, Maduro said in a televised address. So, stop right there. And so here we have the idea that the government is positioning this primary, what we all talk about here, and make sure you get your weight up. He's giving them an option to get their weight up, but they can't actually hold the physical metal. So, any takers out there, any people willing to say what that means if you can't hold it? Anybody out there? Go. Let me hear somebody in the chat. What does that mean? What's the favorite saying here? If you don't hold it, you don't own it. So that being the case, this whole gold savings plan right here is all geared towards another certificate or a claim. It's a mediary between you and what's supposed to be yours. So that's an issue there. So just to keep that in mind there. I thought I would share that with you guys since I'm going over this. And so here's some of the things I checked off in regards to the fundamentals or the intangibles of what makes a historically sound currency, of which this does pass the test in a sense because it is divisible, ingots, whatever. It's fungible. It says one unit is viewed as interchangeable with another. So 1.5 grams, cool. It's portable. That's the question there because technically speaking, the citizens don't have it. So it's not in their actual possession to be able to carry it to somewhere to exchange it. So in this regards here for this gold savings plans, it's a bad idea in my opinion. Next one here is a durable. Sure, it could withstand time. Is it acceptable? It would be acceptable if people had it in their hands. And so as of now, the only thing people could do is exchange those certificates, hence those IOUs that they have with the central bank there. Is it uniform? Yes. Scarce. Gold and technically it's scarce. It might be so scarce that they don't actually have it in their vaults. That's why they're giving them paper. Store value, it should be. The Central Bank of Venezuela is telling them it can store their wealth. It can help the pensioners. Hence this article here. Venezuela sell gold ingots to pensioners as inflation soars. So here's something that we all can learn about here. We have a country going through flux right now. And the central bank, the government, the president saying this could save your pensions. Yeah, they're telling us stuff here. We can learn a lot from this, people. Is it anonymous? No, because it's not in their possession and the people more than likely won't get it. So that's just one. That's just one right there. So I'm going on and on about just one. Talk to me. What are your thoughts? Where am I wrong at? Is anything here something I should have done differently? Let me know. Just sharing my thoughts with me, with you guys rather. And as always, if anybody just joined us, we're talking about Venezuela. I just went over the gold savings plan as how to. It's not truly a gold savings plan. It's the same thing as a piece of paper with a claim to it. You may not get it. So once again, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. And so what else we got here? It says if you don't have it, you don't own it. Mass adoption quickly need equals 0. I'm a part of Carrot Bars. David. Yep, Carrot Bars, I haven't dived into it much, familiar with it. I believe you've shared some information with me before, and I'm also a member. I just don't mess with it that much. But it's one of them things where unless you actually get something physical in your hands, I still wouldn't be 100% confident in any type of claim or paper or something on my screen says it is gold or silver in this account with my name on it. That's just me. It says prep yourself mentally to walk away and you'll sleep like a baby. Yeah, while you're walking away, make sure you got some physical with you, or you get as much of yours out of this current paradigm before it goes under. So why do the pensions need to be saved from exactly the government? Jeff, so why do the pensions need to be saved? So one thing that a lot of people have mentioned in the past is that when times get tight, as of right now, especially with our government, as well as the government in Venezuela, when the funds run out, there's no tax revenue, the bills still are due, all the social programs still need to be funded, the government paychecks and benefits, all that stuff needs to be paid. All governments take care of their own first, starting with the military. So you got to pay the military, you got to pay all those people that are loyal to you to keep you in power. And usually especially here in the United States of America, there's $28 trillion worth of digital assets. You got, I have the article, I can pull it up, but there's $28 trillion worth of digital assets, paper denominated assets, that's sitting there stored in retirement accounts that can be mighty tempting when you're broke. And at any minute you can pass some type of law to say, hey, we're going to give you IOUs, but we need to borrow the $28 trillion to fund or to pay off or do this. It'll be easier for the governments to say, hey, we're going to borrow from all these retirement account pension funds. Hence, how the governments borrow from Social Security, to where some people say Social Security is in a negative and it's in a red, But any untapped funds sitting there is an easy temptation for someone who's broke to steal, basically, with some IOU and replace it with some type of IOU. So I missed a caller. Feel free to call back in. I was trying to get to your call. It says, I've taken ownership of my own gold. Crypto is anonymous if users applies it correctly. Omnibone, very true, but a lot of people aren't educated in the ways of being anonymous with their cryptocurrency. So till we get to the mass adoption phase where there's enough education out there for people to utilize those benefits of being anonymous and doing transactions, on the backside of things, on a small scale now, let's just keep it as is to say the Bitcoin, Litecoin, they're not anonymous, and a lot of people, don't know those options. But there will come a day where, anonymous privacy coins will be madly important. Says people better learn bartering systems. Very true. Bartering systems will be key. So we have a caller here. Caller, I apologize. I'm trying to get to you. Call back again if you don't mind. Having some issues with my phone. It says by the year 2050, they said there will be over $400 trillion globally that needs to be paid back. See, here's the thing, Jeff. By 2050, I don't think at the current rate we're at now, the system won't be able to maintain itself for there to be enough debt piled on to be $400 trillion. Because right now, we're 230 trillion, and we're already seeing a lot of things starting to shake because debt is becoming a problem. So I just personally can't see this thing lasting to $400 trillion just because where's it going to come from? What fool on the other end of the water is going to be willing to accept paper IOUs continuously, knowing they already know you can't get 21 trillion back, and then there's 200 trillion in liabilities alone for this country. Yeah, I don't foresee a government being dumb enough to do that for much longer. But we've gotten this far, so who knows? It says if you can't touch it, you don't really own it. Very true. So let me get to the call. Oh, here you go. So I'm gonna hopefully I can get to you. So for whatever reason, I'm clicking on answer, but it's not going through. So forgive me. Try one more time. If not, better yet, let me see. Let me see if it works. If I can try to call you back. So let me give you first time thing here on RTD Live Talk. I'm calling a viewer back. Let's see if they pick up. So caller, if you're watching us, I'm calling you. Pick it up.
sorry I missed your call. I'm not by the phone right now. Leave the name and number, and I'll get it.
So it looks like we're playing some phone tag. But anyway, let's keep the show moving. So yeah, let me move on to the next part that I think is important, and that is the that is funny. You know, missed a call from a caller, called him back. He gave me the answer machine. He gave me the voicemail. Come on now. Come on, man. Trying to put you on air. You gave me the voicemail. It's cold-blooded. All right, so the next one here, national digital currency. So this is what happened on Monday. So the video, I'm not sure how many people are watching us right now and if I should replay it. But let me see here, because for those that we have more people tuning in, we got a couple people watching. So for those that have not seen the video, I'm going to just do it real quick, give you a second to get caught up on what's going on, but it's a minute and a half. Here's the video about what we're going to talk about right now, because I got an article to share with you that I want to use this video from. So check it.
Venezuela's cryptocurrency, the Petro, is now an official commercial currency. President Nicolas Maduro stated on Monday that despite cyber attacks perpetrated by the United States, France, and Colombia against the digital platform, the Petro has become a reality.
Ha nacido con tecnología propia, con esfuerzo propio. En un país libre e independiente ha nacido la moneda digital petrolera, el Petro. Bienvenido, Petro.
Maduro unveiled the new white paper that will govern the cryptocurrency and stated that it is backed by other natural resources in addition to oil.
Por ley y por decreto he incorporado en el white paper del Petro para la fórmula del establecimiento de su valor, el respaldo en oro, diamante, hierro y aluminio. Así que nuestro Petro nace blindado de riqueza petrolera y de riqueza minera.
The Petro is now available on several major cryptocurrency exchanges. The currency will be ready for public sale starting November 5th, and Venezuelan citizens will be able to purchase it in bolivars.
All right, so here's the issue. Here's the issue with that whole Petro. And so I'm going to pull this graph up again. So here is the issue at hand. So here we have the Petro just this past Monday. The president signed the white paper. So apart from this whole crypto craze that we're in now and utilizing a blockchain, I'm not sure what blockchain they're using. I'm sure they didn't create their own, so they're using something. I heard it was Ethereum, but then I heard it was I think I heard it was Waves or some other one or two other, you know, blockchain based cryptocurrencies for their Petro coin there. But beyond that white paper, and so I'm going to try go online and see if I can find that white paper. But it's good to say that white paper won't have any of the true details as to how many coins will they make, who's going to hold them. There's no details other than just that little quick spiel of what's going to back those Petro coins that goes, you know, just available starting November 5th. People can go and acquire them. You can exchange paper for Petro. And so once again, it's one of them things where here we have solely a digital currency. I'm assuming they're going to have a wallet on their phone or a wallet on the computer. I'm not sure how they're going to interchange it or how they're going to use it. So it's an experiment. This is going to be rolled out. And it has the most reds out of all, in my opinion, because of the uncertainty and the idea that it just has scam written all on it. And let me tell you why. And so in that short clip I just played, he gave a good little spiel as to what's going to back that this Petro. But if it's called the Petro, that has to do, and it's being sold as it being backed by oil, then what would you need to attach all those other four items? He mentioned diamonds, gold, aluminum, whatever else he mentioned in that clip. So you mean to tell me you're going to have oil plus those other four backing these Petros? How many are you going to have in existence? I don't know. Perhaps it's in a white paper. And then on top of that, what will keep you from maintaining a steady supply of coins? Will it be a cap of 50 billion coins and that's it? Or will it be subject to being expanded? Would a digital coin monetary base be subject to it, being expanded or growing, the monetary supply of those coins growing according to your needs for funding your government like it has been for the paper? So hence the idea that digital Petro, in my opinion, is no different than the paper. It just makes it easier for them to use digitals. It makes it easier for them to use digits because they don't have to worry about the cost of printing papers and having to remove zero, add zeros for this next round of inflation or complete annihilation of their currency. Eventually, they're going to have to get rid of anything called Bolivar or Petro, because you can fool the people once, you can fool them twice, but hopefully you can't get them 3 times. Because as I mentioned at the very beginning of this next piece we're going to talk about, the fiat currency, this is their 3rd currency in 2.5 years. So this is the 3 strikes you out. So they could be going to Petro because they striked out with this stuff here. So with that being the case, let me get into some of the details here. But once again, it's a digital. This is purely a digital illusion because it's coming from a government who's proven time and time again to not know how to manage, not know how to be good stewards of their own political system, nevertheless their monetary currency. So I'm not sure who's going to trust in this. And then the fact you can go out and purchase it from wherever. Yeah, good luck with that. And on top of that, for here, U.S. citizens, it's illegal for us to acquire or support the Venezuelan government with those currency notes. So I don't foresee us actually being able to do it. But we do have a caller. My phone seems to be working. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hello?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey.
Yes, I can.
Hey, Mike, this is Jeff from Florida.
Jeff.
Hey, man, I just wanted to, I know you're in the middle of your Venezuela spill, but I just wanted to ask you a question real quick.
Yeah.
What do you think about Amazon said that they were going to raise their minimum wage to $15 an hour starting November 1st next month? So what do you think about that? I just thought that was kind of curious. So they would just, wave his magic wand and just, do it as if he was like trying to do all the workers a favor. Do you think that's going to have an effect? They were talking about having a lobby to go to the national government trying to raise minimum wage nationally. And also I had a quick question about inflation. I think you touched on it earlier today, but with all these tariffs and stuff that Trump's doing back and forth with China, I was reading an article and they were talking about inflation's going to hit us soon. They were talking about retailers are going to have to start raising the prices of their goods because of all these different tariffs that were going back and forth. So I just wanted to ask you your thoughts on that and see what we should do to kind of plan ahead for inflation that's going to be coming in the future. Where you go, Mike?
All right. Appreciate you, Jeff. Thanks, my friend. I'll definitely get to that. All right. Yep. All right. So that is definitely something that I wanted to hint at earlier with Lior. And it has to do with Jeff Bezos and Amazon's desire to move all their employees, I'm assuming, to a minimum wage of $15 per hour. And the first thing that came to mind when I saw Jeff Bezos, Amazon, $15 per hour, it's all a how can I use this word? What kind of word can I use? It's all a cover up to save their rear ends, given the fact that right now the Democrats, Bernie Sanders especially, is really looking to come down on Amazon, given the fact that Jeff Bezos is the richest man, that we know of, give or take. His company is killing it at the expense of, his workers. And so the Democrats, Bernie Sanders is basically saying we're going to impose a tax to tax Amazon and big conglomerates like them for them to pay the difference between their employees' wages and their cost of living based upon the stuff they get from the government. They subsidies from the government. So those companies are going to be taxed that difference. So basically, what better way to get the people all excited right now? Just like I saw earlier today that in Detroit, there was something downtown Detroit, Fight for 15 Detroit, where you have people in the streets talking about we need 15, 15, 15, make everything 15. And as I always say, the people are going to get what they want. Give them what they want. They want $15. They want $15 an hour. Give them $15 an hour. But it won't satisfy their needs because then they'll be forced to have to demand more once everything around them has to account for that excessive wage that they're being given for no greater service or no greater skill sets. So $15 an hour will basically just trickle over into the goods and services because every company's in business to make a profit. And so if you got to cut into your revenue, your profit, what are you going to do? You're going to increase the cost of your goods. So the same items they're going to have to purchase is going to go up. So it's going to balance out again. So if it's $10 an hour, $12 an hour now, it costs you $10, $20 for whatever. You go to 15, it's going to be $15, $25 an hour. So give them what they want. because they don't understand how the whole monetary system works. I can't fault them, can't blame them. Give them what they want. But this is Jeff Bezos' way of saying, hey, people, in order to get some of this heat off my back, I'm going to start this campaign for Fight for 15. I'm going to lead the way to show the Democrats so they don't pass that law or that legislation on me predominantly, being that I'm $23 billion whatever dollars in my company, because it's going to save him money to offer $15 an hour because he can just roll the cost off into the prices, as opposed to the Democrats coming up with some type of bill that will tax him heavily per employee. So not only would he have to pay $12, $13, $14 an hour per employee, but he also going to have an extra tax on top of that, which could be billions upon billions of dollars. So why not save billions of dollars by giving an extra billion to your employees and starting all this commotion, making you look like the hero to this whole ordeal? So Jeff Bezos playing the game. He don't want to get taxed, so he's going to give the people what they want, which is going to cause more uproar because Walmart going to have to do the same, Google will have to do the same. And so people going to get what they want. They're going to find out they won't purchase much. There your answer go, Jeff. Yeah, so that was a good one. So back to my spiel, as Jeff said. Okay, so I want to speed through this because I'm trying to give you enough to go on, and then if you want to add some more at the bottom of the comment section, feel free to do so. But anyway, people, hopefully you're enjoying this because I feel like we're getting into some very detailed stuff here, and I guarantee you're not gonna get this breakdown nowhere else. So give us a thumbs up, share this, tell a friend or something, because this graph here. Because I see myself, I see us in this with the options that's being rolled out to them at this late stage. This is stuff that we can learn from, people. So, Petro, let me get to this Petro real quick. So, as I mentioned before, the Petro is a scam in my opinion, because if it's called the Petro because it's supposed to be backed by oil, what do you need all those other 4 things that was mentioned in that video? Then you factor in my guest Eduardo, who came in, spoke with us. If you haven't, check out Eduardo's video, a couple RTD live talks back. But he mentioned the fact that there's no infrastructure to even get the oil out the ground. The oil there, to my knowledge, from what I've read and heard, the oil is so thick, the oil is so high, rich quality that it takes excessive processes to make it useful for something. They don't have the infrastructure to do that, so it's oil supposedly sitting in the ground, and all we hear is the fact that they are the wealthiest in oil. They got the most oil, yada yada yada. That's what we hear. But I personally ain't stuck nothing down there to find out that's true. So to believe this government's word on anything is not something that I would do personally. So, but to each his own. So the Petro to me is a scam, and then I gave you a couple reasons why. Is it accessible? Is it acceptable? No. As of now, nobody really wants this. Nobody in their right mind would want something that they don't truly understand. So to give it to the public might, the older folks won't understand it. So the younger folks know it's a scam, and they're going to end up going to this last option here, in my opinion. Is it scarce? Probably not. They're going to print just as much or digitize just as much as the paper. Store value, I'm going to stop right there. Is it anonymous? I'm sure I ain't got to say no more. So anyway, that's the Petro. Next one, fiat currency. So since the Bolivar Forte has gone belly ups, they've come up with a new system of this new currency that is a reconversion of the monetary system. It says here how it all applied. It says an example. So before, because of hyperinflation, which is still present, if something costs 50 million bolivars, they just basically, it got to the point where there was so much paper floating around, you had to have bricks and bricks and bricks of paper for 50 million. So they couldn't count it no more. They had to weigh it. And after a while, you get tired of weighing worthless paper. So what better way to get rid of that? Chop off 5 zeros. So here we have the sovereign Bolivar. Bolivar Soberano. And so it says here, $500 or $50 million is now the equivalent of a new $500 Bolivar note. So basically, if you were to take in all of them bricks and bricks of paper, assumably they'll accept that crap, then you can get a 500 Bolivar note. So here's the denominations based upon the hyperinflation in the green, and then we have to the right the new denominations and the new currency. So these two currencies, the Bolivar Forte was introduced in January of last year, and the sovereign Bolivar was introduced a month ago. Two currencies, 1 year. How much confidence and trust would you have in either one of these papers? Nevertheless, a digit this government says is backed by all that stuff. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'm sure you get my point. Let me go back to my graph. Oops. People, I feel like I'm doing all the talking here. No one's calling me now. Come on, what's up? Okay, so here's my thoughts on the properties of this new Bolivar Soberano. Is it divisible? Yes. It's paper. Is it fungible? Yes. It has a little life to it. Is it portable? Sure, you can exchange it. Is it durable? Yeah, it has, the same amount of wear and tear. After a while, it's going to wear down. You're not going to want it. Is it acceptable? Yeah, probably amongst those who, a very small few will accept that. Again, it's more so those that are already on government aid. Hence the idea, in order to actually be a participant in this whole new system, to sign up for this gold saving plans, you have to be registered. You have to be registered in the system and an active participant in all government propaganda. So you have to attend rallies. You have to do a lot of things to be on the government's good side, or you get shut out. You may not get your stuff. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mike, get your weight up. This is Tim from Colorado.
Tim, weight is up, my friend. How you doing, buddy? What's on your mind tonight?
Oh, not too much. Keep up the good work. I want everybody that's listening to know that you're a sharp dude. Number one, you're well-rounded.
Thank you.
And sorry you had to put up with the crap phone calls the other night. That was crap, man.
Yeah, it comes with the territory, man. For the first time of that magnitude. So, apart from just the, obscene words, but other than that, it happens. So I think I'm doing a good job. If people feel like they want to call in, go ahead.
You did a really good job handling them. Sorry, but Mike, here's where I'm at. In my mind, everything is minutia, and we can talk about Kavanaugh or Venezuela or anything we want. But the way I see it is, this goes back actually before BC. You really start to study the history of control of money, currencies. And they've all failed, and this one's way overdue.
Yeah.
If you look at the couple comments, I guess I'll go back to, they're in full control. And the only question I have is, are they in full control of Trump? And I think they are. And here's the reason I say, is because if you look at what we're doing war-wise, and pressuring other countries with China, Russia, Syria, everything we got going, Iran's going down. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Israel's running this country. Not Israel, but the Zionists, the Jesuits. And everything else is minutia, man. They're in full control. Full control. Not just the currency systems, although that's all we can do to protect ourselves. This is 1984 on steroids.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the truth. And so this is all just, I consider this just some in between the lines educational stuff that we can learn from on possible scenarios of how things might unwind. And so here with this Venezuela stuff, I'm merely just highlighting the fact that when stuff hits the fan, the government gets desperate. They come out with all types of crafty ways. So they offering gold, they offering the Petro, they offering paper, but the people are choosing to use their sovereign or their own cryptocurrencies outside of any type of government control. So the one to the far right of this visual aid here is the one that's going to win in the end, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's just all educational, man. Something to learn from. I think a lot of people can learn a lot from what's happening in Venezuela. And so hopefully this visual aid does help a little bit.
No, the visual aid is excellent, and we have to learn from Venezuela because we're going to see it.
Yeah.
The world's going to see it.
Yeah.
And all we can do is, protect ourselves with our beliefs and our friends and our support systems and our talents and precious metals, and possibly the future will be, the only way to hide from the powers that be is going to be cryptocurrency. I'm not sure which one it will be or how it will work out, but obviously I agree with you on Venezuela. It's all a joke. If people could just wake up, it's a wicked spell that everybody's under. But it's the biggest Ponzi scheme in human history.
Yeah.
This currency system.
Yeah.
and putting out cryptocurrencies that are backed by words. I'm over with the words.
Yeah.
There's nothing they could tell me anymore, So anyway, keep up the great work. You're doing a good job.
Appreciate you.
That's why I like listening to you.
Thanks, my friend. Appreciate you.
Okay.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff. Thanks, Tim, for calling in. So this is all stuff to learn from, man. This is, I consider this is not financial advice. This is all entertainment, as I call it. It's called dollarcation. It's a way to merge our current dollar paradigm with the educational piece to it, give you something to think about based upon examples from other countries. So anyway, this is the Bolivar crumbling. This is their way of spinning out three currencies in a 2.5 year time frame, man, which is unheard of to me. The fact that people seem to still be going for it, but it is what it is. So move on to the very last piece. And so I got some articles that I wanted to hit at to let you know, just shine a little light on the situation here. So here's a piece just came out today. It says gold, rabbits, and crypto, Venezuela's strange economic plans. And so give you an idea what's going on here. We have another caller. It says inflation may hit 1,000,000% by this year. So basically between now and next 90 days, we may hit 1,000,000% inflation. And 2.3 million people have fled the country, supposed to be coming back. So here's some of the options that are being thrown out there to talk about. But let me get to this call.
Extension.
Oops. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mike, what's good? It's Tony from Oakland.
Tony, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. You got some tea for me?
It's still on. Did you get your call from Trump today?
Actually, I was waiting for something to go off my phone and nothing went off. But then I checked my messages and I did have a message from President Trump. He told me what's up.
He said what's up.
Yeah, he said what's up.
He said what's up to you. I got it on the TV too. I think that was Session on the TV though.
Oh man, that was funny, man. But a lot of people are talking about it during text. I hear a lot of commentators talking about a text all day. So some people got it, some people didn't. So did you get your text?
They eating it up.
Did you get yours?
I got my text, and like I said, I got it on TV 2 minutes later too. So I just think it was a broadcast that they were doing nationally anyway. So,
yeah.
You know, it was no big deal, and they just didn't tell the sheeple.
Yeah, for real. But what's on your mind tonight, man?
You go to Venezuela. We can get onto that. I think they'll be fine. I think once the U.S. gets their foot off their throat, China and Russia is going to make sure. Venezuela is still sending oil. They're sending it to U.S. to get refined.
Yeah, are they? And, a lot of it, or
they send it to the U.S. to get refined, and the U.S. ships it out for them. And everybody want to make a big deal about what's going on with China and Russia until either one of these countries touch another country's oil. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah,
it's all smoke and mirrors. Russia and them, the OPEC nation had this oil thing locked up for a while, and then the U.S. came online, and the U.S. was like, "I want a piece of that."
Yeah,
and they ain't willing to give, and that's what the fight's over there. Not everybody's willing to give up that oil. And U.S. is like game over, and Trump's pulling out all the cards and everything in order to get this thing, get ours back on market.
Yeah.
But what the people here don't realize is they're doing it through fracking, which is killing the infrastructure of our earth. Because they cap that fracking off with wastewater.
Yeah.
We need to be careful about supporting something like that as a nation. Because we'll be like Africa when they didn't have nothing and had to boil water in their town. Yeah. We need to be careful with that.
Yeah. Well, Tony, I appreciate the call. I got another caller coming in, so I don't mean to cut you off.
Want to get
appreciate you. Appreciate you.
You too, bro.
All right.
Bye.
Great call. The great thought there. Oil-rich nations. So we have another caller. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hello, I'm Chickasaw Rising on your channel here, coming live from Minneapolis. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Chickasaw Rising, okay. That's a...
Yes.
Okay.
I'm a new subscriber of yours, and I enjoy your work. You're spot on with everything that you're covering here. I just want to come forth here with just, praising you for the work that you do. It's definitely needed.
Thank you.
And definitely bringing forth the information that's coming out of Venezuela. A lot of the stuff that's going on down there in regards to the inflation, a lot of that has not been covered in the U.S. media.
Yeah.
It's been vaguely covered, and it's coming here. It's coming here very soon, and a lot of people don't realize and understand and know that this is coming.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, people are not as prepared as they should be, and definitely should be watching Venezuela with a lot of the things that are going on there, because we could definitely be seeing that here. I definitely wanted to get your take on, as far as what you think about Venezuela in essence of them ever recovering. Now, I'm not going to totally cast them out per se, but in essence of the cryptocurrency and what they're doing right now, I don't foresee it being a positive thing, because a lot of the people, they're having inflation problems going. A lot of the Venezuelans are going into Colombia. A lot of, migrations that are going on there. But I just wanted to know your take on what you think about in regards to a lot of the things that are going on in Venezuela in regards to, the economy and its essence. I mean, I know that this is coming to America very soon, and if people are not prepared and have taken the necessary precautions to protect themselves, they'll be, I'm sorry, up Shit's Creek.
Yeah.
I just wanted to, know your, input and what you think in regards to that.
Yeah.
And a lot of the things that are going on.
Okay.
But I just wanted to call in and, praise your channel and things like that. I've never called in. I'm a new subscriber and things like that, and just want to know what you thought about it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and thanks for subscribing, and definitely give us a thumbs up, share it, all like that. So welcome to the community. We're growing day by day, so it's good to have new people come. So thanks for your question. I'll answer it online and go from there. So thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So great question there. It's a very good question there. So how will all this end in Venezuela? How will the Venezuelan people get off their feet and get back into the world in a productive sense with confidence and things like that? And so one thing I want to encourage you to, a couple weeks ago, Eduardo, I had a gentleman from Venezuela who is a cryptocurrency enthusiast / he's working in the blockchain environment down there. And so and that same question was posed to him, and his thoughts was there will be no change for the most part in that country until the government is completely revamped. And so he basically said that he as a Venezuelan citizen, this is him saying that he believes the best option will be intervention from other countries to come in and to just get rid of the current government system, government model, government school of thought there, because it's all socialism. And it doesn't work. There's nothing about the people. The people have no say in anything down there because everything is being done for them, to them, and by a small group. And one of the things about the fact that Maduro, I don't know the guy other than the fact that I watched from afar with a twisted storyline because I haven't been there in a long time. So I don't know the lay of the land like I would imagine. But it's enough to know that if people starving, the hyperinflation is stealing wealth and everything else, then obviously something's wrong, and it's not at the bottom. It starts at the top with the leaders of the country. So Maduro, in my opinion, is a clone of Hugo Chavez, who was put in power. Maduro has no true background in anything technical. He was a bus driver. So to go from driving buses to the White House or the penthouse in his regards there lets me know that he may not be a suitable leader for people. Because if it's people starving and he has to do all these other options, something's wrong. So at the end of the day, to answer your question, I think that in days ahead, there will be intervention of some kind. I'm not sure from who, from where, how it would come about. But until that whole system is revamped and the people are at least given the illusion that they have a choice with the democratic system we supposedly have, which is proving to fail right now in and of itself. Because all the world's problems, in my opinion, it boils down to, unfortunately, political leadership, aka government. And so until that government model is completely revamped and they give the people a say-so, and the people have been so ingrained in socialism itself by handouts. The people there are so used to being given that most of them don't know how to earn and to sustain themselves because they're used to handouts and they are supporters of it. So it's a mindset there which needs to be revamped, which is going to be needed as far as some type of intervention there, in my opinion. So long term, if that same government model is there will be no change, more hyperinflations, people get into more currencies, all types of illusions. There'll be no true change, in my opinion, unless something's done. So, but time will tell. Hopefully, there's some type of solution, and I assume that everything happening in Venezuela will get caught up in everything else happening around the world, as all the other, Argentina is right now going through some issues. I got a video coming tomorrow on Argentina that you guys are going to find very interesting, so make sure you check that out. And then you have Turkey, Egypt, Iran, all those countries are having problems. I think they're going to fall into the mix, and then everybody's going to go down, then it's going to come here to America, and then it's going to be a complete redoing of the entire monetary system because debt is tapped everybody out. So that's just my little rant. But thanks for the call, thanks for the question. Hope that, those ideas, opinions were something to work with. And so what else? So we're getting kind of late here. Yeah, people are fleeing the country. More people have left than have been reported, and supposedly people are finding it to be worse living conditions outside and they're coming back. My guest also mentioned that's bogus because as bad as things are in that country, you get health care, you get all the medical attention you need on the streets in Colombia or somewhere else. Why would you come back to somewhere where they don't even have basic medicines to get you? He's saying that people dying of all types of types of things that just there's no medicine to treat things. So I don't really foresee people going back into that, even though I'm sure life is hard in other countries. But who knows? Who knows? So what else? Let me get to this last point, and the last point is sweet and simple. It has to do with what people appear to be turning to. And so this paper here, the new sovereign Bolivar, won't last long. I give it half a year. If anybody want to put a cup of coffee on that one, I don't drink coffee, but a cup of tea on that. By next June, July, this paper here, if not something between now and then, will be in hyperinflation state. Because think about it, if they're about to hit 1 million inflation rate, this paper right here is not going to do them any good. So anyway, what people are turning to based upon what the reports are and all of the underground movements that's taking place, based upon what Eduardo, my prior guest, mentioned about what's popular, what people are getting into. And there's proof, in a sense, to give you an idea that this stuff right here, this cryptocurrency stuff, is growing as a viable option for Venezuelans. And so here are some of the things I believe that, in comparison to these other three, serves as a better solution, because most people can't go buy physical gold to possess in their hands. You don't want the Petro. You damn sure don't want the paper. What's the best option? Get rid of the paper for something of this nature, even though I'm sure it's going to be small increments. But small increments of any of these beats something that is going to have issues. So here's some of the properties here, and it's pretty basic. It's acceptable. The only thing is adoption. A lot of people can't spend or really use that amongst vendors or whatnot, to my knowledge, but yet amongst people you can use it, so it's not 100% acceptable by everyone. Store value, the market's fluctuating right now, so you put $100 in, it might be $50 tomorrow, but it's good to say it won't go to zero as fast as this paper will. Is it anonymous? Depending on which one you use, could be the case. So, and then here's a little video here to share some thoughts on that. It says Bitcoin trading volumes in hyperinflation struck Venezuela hits record highs. So this just goes to show how, based upon this news report from CCN, cryptocurrency news source, it says that the hyperinflation struck Venezuela hits record high. And so here it shows you the volume of activity at local Bitcoins, I think it's .org or .com, in Venezuela over the last couple of weeks maybe. So going from no activity, basically, that shows up on this radar here, to having 900 Bitcoins roughly traded in the last week, I think it is. So it says Venezuelan trade Bitcoins worth nearly 300 million bolivars last week. So the record could be broken again so far this week, as Bitcoin more than has 229 million bolivars. So people are taking this freshly new minted paper, and so a 500 piece or 5,000 piece, whichever one it is, 500 piece, whichever one that is, 50 million bolivars, and go getting 0.001 of a Bitcoin gives you much more confidence and hope than this piece of paper here. So this is what's happening in Venezuela right now, according to this source here on local Bitcoins, which has kept track of the fact that over the last week, 300 billion or 300 million bolivars has gone into the blockchain, predominantly with Bitcoin. But then there's other sources that talk about other cryptocurrencies such as Dash, and there's movements amongst the alternative media space down there. And Digibyte is one of the most popular ones because it's 2 cents right now, give or take, but yet something that can be acquired in mass at a small increments and be usable amongst the people. So these are just three of probably a gang of other cryptocurrencies that's being used in Venezuela now to help ease some of the hyperinflation problems that they have down there. So this is what's happening in regards to Venezuela, man. I thought I would share this with you guys just to see, what your thoughts are. And so definitely hope, this was informative and educational. It's been over an hour, and I can go on and on because I have more to talk about, but I'm going to cut it off there. And I appreciate you guys calling in, sharing your thoughts. Definitely, people, if you've enjoyed this chat tonight, give us a thumbs up. Share this video. Scroll down below. Click the link to get this actual graph here. And then share this on your social media. And if you do, please tag Rethinking the Dollar RTD so I know that the community is out there helping get the message out there, helping people get educated. And also comment below if you're seeing this late. Let me know your thoughts. What did I forget? What can I add in there? Stuff of that nature. What else we got here? So other than that, as always, people, it's been fun. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. Thanks for all the calls. Hope my information and opinions, man, mind you, this is all opinions. I ain't got no facts other than what I show you and what you do for yourself. This is my opinion, not a financial advice of any kind. So educate yourself, and then I believe that you'll be able to make sound decisions for yourself, as we all are capable of doing. And if we don't, we have to live with those decisions. So anyway, people, above my head, Patreons, support the channel. I could use your help. As always, I have a lot of projects, a lot of things I want to do, but it costs paper for now to get it done. So I have my Bitcoin address above. If you guys want to be a blessing, donate some Bitcoin to your boy. Boy would definitely put it to good use to growing this channel here. Other than that, peace. Have a good night. Thanks. Stay prayed up. And as always, as you people know, get your weight up. Peace.